Welcome to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir. I am your host and game master for the night in this, what is episode 19 of Brise's Tale. And as always, I am joined by my good buddy Max, who will be playing the warrior spellcaster Brise. Max, say hello to the nice people.
Hey everybody. Brise, if you remember, Brise isn't doing too well right now, and you're about to find out why. So we're going to start off on a very exciting note.
Yes, we did start playing a little off stream to we'd hope we'd be able to get Brise's character back to town, so some of the travel stuff you guys could skip because we do kind of hourly travel checks for navigation and that sort of thing as part of the realism of the game. But we realize that's not the most viewer friendly stuff, so we were hoping we would get to that before Brise decided to leave. Though she was curious about the two magically locked bags she had found in the carriage wreckage, suspended in the trees on this mountain. And so, Max, what happened there, buddy?
What had happened was
What had happened?
I was shaking this bag, and I'm like, "There's some really good shit in this bag," and it was very powerfully sealed. And well, I did what any a young sorcerer would do and try an unlocking spell. The unlocking spell knocked me out, took 30 hit points of damage, caused me to bleed out a bunch, and all my stuff is now scattered. My horse is down slope. So basically a setback. I'm like filthy rich right now, but I am dying. So I guess that's what I mean. This is pretty fitting, right? Because I got 15 mithril pieces on the richest person in this continent, and my greed is just knows no bounds, and one extra step and I get exploded. So, but yeah, I'm recovered. I am stopped from bleeding. My left arm, my dominant arm, is paralyzed and in pain, but seems to be no threats for the time being.
Yeah, and the horse seems to. He cast the spell. There was some sort of backlash from the bag that really
back sass.
Back sass.
Bag sass.
But it.
What you doing?
Right. I don't take no lip. Oh, hi, Obi-Wan. And so there was some sort of magical defense on the bag that laid Brise out. The bag subsequently disappeared, was destroyed. It's missing. Brise was bleeding heavily. She has an arm that is her left arm, that is her, which is her dominant hand. Her left arm is at least broken, if not more. She is in a ton of pain. And
I'm rich.
But you are.
Mm-hmm.
Brise.
Okay. Yeah, that's Brise. She's watching and playing.
And so, is it a bad sign that 90% of our viewership is ourselves? I don't think it's a bad sign.
Just create a bunch of hack accounts.
Exactly. We're getting rave reviews. I don't know if you've checked. We're doing terrifically. And the horse was missing. We assume that, but she moments later found the horse downslope. And Quinn, hey Quinn, how are you? And the horse apparently was startled by whatever happened, and in fleeing fell down the slope. Brice's goods that were hung on the horse are now largely scattered down the slope, um, and the horse is cantering back and forth about 30 feet below a relatively steep slope. Has a bit of a limp, I should also tell you, Brice, but otherwise seems okay. Obviously, very startled.
Okay.
Um,
Would it benefit if I tried to calm him
Attack
down, or
the
does it?
horse.
Yeah, exactly. Calm him down, like, or is he gonna kind of stay there?
Well, there's no way to know. I mean, obviously, you would feel better if it would just relax.
Right.
And you don't want it to remain in a heightened state of fear anyway, just as a
Right.
compassionate individual. Um, um,
Okay, then I'll try to um, stand up and kind of. Um, can I? Does it look like the slope is steep, or is it pretty shallow? I can kind of walk down.
you do not. I mean, surely you must be in range. Uh, your spell has to be within range. There's no way you're going to go down that slope.
Okay. Yeah.
If you fall on that arm, you're going to pass out from pain. You're going to open that bandage up.
Okay. Then I'll call out to my horse, to Judas. Hey, Judas. Hey, buddy. See if that calms him down a bit.
It does seem to take some comfort as you're sort of speaking soothingly to it. It sort of approaches at the sound of your voice. It recognizes you. It's looking up at you through the brush, um, and at least there's plenty to eat.
Starts
Well,
eating my stuff.
that's
No.
right. Before the stream, Max and I were joking that the horse is missing and the bag is missing. The horse must have stolen it, which is so stupid, but it makes me laugh. And I'll probably bring it up again during the stream. So just take that.
This is how folk tales are started. It's like, don't trust a. I think my horse is black. Don't trust a black horse. Steal on your dark horse.
Well, don't. Here's your lesson: don't name your horse Judas, and it won't betray you.
That's true.
Steal your shit.
Me, I guess. But yeah, okay. So if he calms down, then he'll what's the word? He'll be fine just there while I kind of rest and mend myself.
Right.
To go down there and tie him up.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to find a very safe way down.
Yeah.
You're higher up. You're beginning to descend.
The first
the mountain.
Yeah. First.
Not that you were nearly at its peak at all. You were going through a pass. But what let you know that this was not the right way was...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You'd started to climb back up, and then you saw the carriage, and you're like, there's no way I would have missed that carriage suspended in the trees like that. All right, Max, buddy, what's Brise going to do? Oh, what's the date today? What's the date in the game?
It is the 21st.
Okay.
April. Yeah, Quinn. YOLO. I really do only live once.
Now, see,
maybe I should be careful.
That's right.
I love how that phrase can, like, it's just like a self-own. Yeah, YOLO. You only live once. Exactly. Like, so don't screw it up.
Right.
Anyway, so I will find a place that's kind of out of the way. I'm gonna eat some herbs. I have some herbs for bone mending, some potions that'll help with that too, and probably just rest for a good while until I can feel like I can move around. I don't know. So I don't know enough first aid probably to like make anything for my arm, right?
No, you're terrible. Terrible. I mean, you see your skill. I mean, you see it.
Yeah, I know, I'm pretty sure I remember it was like pretty bad. So that's
awful is how you feel about your skill.
Awful, yeah. Okay, so I'm like, no. Yeah. So let me just find a place where I can sit down and get my bearings. Um, Eat some healing herbs and stuff. Just kind of recuperate for 30 minutes at least until I feel maybe comfortable getting up and moving around.
All right. So what herb are we taking?
Uh, I am taking all the herbs. I just put them all in my mouth. So I've got
YOLO.
yeah, YOLO. So actually, I have a potion of bone mending, and so do I really feel like it's broken? Then my left arm, then I'll drink that.
I take a
Or is it
roll.
hard to tell? Like I'm not sure if it's broken.
You're not sure. But we really haven't given you a chance really to do diagnostics. So let's do, because the
Sure.
scale and roll master is diagnostics. So give it a whirl.
41.
Yeah, really hard to tell. It hurts everywhere so much. Hard to tell. Same
Hmm.
token,
I
you
mean,
don't know what eating an herb that you don't need. You don't
right,
know.
exactly. Like, when else am I going to use this potion other than when I'm in some mysterious pain that I think might be a broken bone? So I will drink the potion of bone mending.
All right,
Down that.
roll for me.
2.
You missed your mouth. You put it in anally, and
I have a drinking problem.
that's such a great line from the movie. Um, Part of the pain is definitely healed.
Okay.
It still won't move.
Right. Do when you say it won't move, as in I won't move because of pain, or it's like paralyzed?
Uh, you cannot instruct it to move.
Oh, okay.
It's also intensely painful, but
Yeah. Hmm. Uh, so the other thing I'm going to do is take a this is really itchy. An herb for that. Uh, some Vinic, or actually, no, I'll take red cane. That's 5 to 50 HP.
okay.
Costs quite a bit. So one of those.
28 hit points.
Yeah, one.
Let me hop over to captions. I'll just, for any new viewers, I will pop up the basic intro caption about you. There we go.
Okay. So arm's still not moving. Feel better now. Let me go and so all my stuff is spilled. Oh, yeah, I don't even do about that. Hmm. So if I'm feeling all right to kind of move around, to stand up and walk, um, let me go back to the slope and see what I can do to get my stuff back. It's all down there, right? All kind of along the slope.
Um, yeah. Um,
I mean, if I have my spear, I could just, get down on my stomach and try to like fish stuff that's close by.
well, I mean, it's not as though you have to do that now.
All right.
I mean, you're still in pretty bad shape. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you ought to maybe you might ought to think longer term to know. I mean, How are you
I
going to
mean,
get
yeah.
back?
If I feel terrible, then let's not. Yeah, then I'll make some other
Well,
plan.
no, I'm saying, I mean, so you get your stuff back. Well, then what? And I mean,
Well, right, but then so I get my stuff back, try to get my horse back, and then try to get to town safely.
and those two, the horse and the stuff, right now seem equally impossible.
Okay, fair
Uh,
enough. Um,
I mean, you would, I just don't know. You can't set foot on that slope.
right,
You cannot slip, is the thing. So you need to figure out if you're going to recover that stuff, and including the horse, if you're going to recover that stuff. I mean, there's another problem of, let's say you get down to the horse, and I know this is stuff, these are all bridges you've got to burn, but that ledge may lead nowhere.
right. It might be stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're forced just to try to poison your horse out of kindness. Um,
Control animal. Control a horse. Get up that slope.
to control horse. Fly.
Yeah,
Why can I not control
nature
you?
law doesn't have anything. Shape Earth.
I'm going to use my control reality spell. Um,
I have just looking through because I'm making just figuring out plans if I do come back. So can we determine what stuff that if I take inventory of what I currently have and what fell down, can we decide what is down there so I can.
well, I mean, everything that would normally be on your person. I mean, even some of obviously your bags and some of that you might normally carry,
Mhm.
since you were traveling, would have been on the horse.
Right.
And so, I mean,
Everything.
except it'd be basically, I mean, there's even a question about whether you would wear your backpack while on the horse.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
why do these texts? This is the text? This update to Restream, gang, I tell you, just to warn you, it's not scrolling down to the new posts, and so I'm going to be missing stuff. I can tell you, it never had that problem before, but it's doing it now.
No. Quinn
Uh,
actually makes a good point. Where is Laula? Summon her Laula.
well, there's a pile of feathers. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Yeah, we
no.
always forget about Lala.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it's just a songbird. It's hard to remember. If it was a cheetah, it'd be a little easier to.
I might have to put another
Or
post.
maybe an 80-pound gorilla, literally.
That's right. Because I'll use post-its on your actual character sheet is how I remember stuff to check in with and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so I need to put one. My post-its are in the other room, but that's all right. I'll try to remember to do it. Here we go. I'm gonna write a big Lala up here, but um, Laula is nearby on bushes. Honestly, she seems dazed. Uh, you're like, you and me both, bird.
You and me both.
Um, so if
So here's what I'm thinking then. Knowing that pretty much everything's there, I'll try just a disguise camp on it. Try to teleport back to town and rest up. If it takes a few days, then it takes a few days.
okay,
That seems like the smartest thing to do.
all right. So are you taking the? Um, you're obviously taking what's on you. You're obviously taking Laula. I assume you're taking the remaining bag of muffling.
No, because if I teleport with that and it's some magical reaction, then I'm not going to.
I mean, that's fine. I was just
Yeah,
asking. I
yeah,
have
no,
to
I'm
know.
gonna leave that behind. I'll.
Well, before you leave, is there a miracle roll you want to try, or you just want to save that
Well,
for?
yeah, I mean, I was thinking of. I don't know if it's worth a miracle, but miracle roll is someone helpful comes along, maybe our trapper friend, and is willing to help me get all my stuff back. And help me out of the situation.
That is
The miracle roll is someone friendly comes along that
well.
um,
Let's be specific. We have Shedral in the area.
right. Someone friendly comes along that would know how to open the bag and help me get my stuff.
Oh, so
Too much.
you have the tome that has um I was trying to think about maybe do you have a means of summoning one of the priest birds that we believe live in this area?
Well, not summoning. I have a means of speaking with and controlling.
Okay. I couldn't remember what was on that list and whether or not that would be on your person. And I mean, it was a host of
Well,
steps.
that would have been in my bookcase of holding, which I mean, it would have been around my shoulder. Um, I mean, I feel like I would have taken it off when I cast levitate, though, so I would have put it on my horse, right?
Right. I mean,
Um,
yeah, probably even in because you probably don't want to have things jostling on you as you
exactly.
travel because you just get blistered. See, because that would be a. I was just trying to think if there's something that is so important to your rescue that's on the slope, well, then that might be worth a plan to
Right.
try to go down there and get. Um, so, because what I'm thinking about is levitate would allow you
Oh yeah, that's true.
to kind of go down gingerly. The thing is, you've got one arm to guide you,
Hmm.
and that same arm has to grab stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Maneuver and a half.
um, so if there were one thing, one container that had some item that could really help you get further help, then that'd be great. Uh,
I don't think so, though.
okay, and that's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because what was I gonna say? Yeah, because I was looking through my spells, and yeah, nothing seems like it would. Levitate is probably the closest thing that would help. Um, um, yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be averse to uh, miracle roll. Yeah, something comes along that can is willing to help me open up the bag and get my stuff back.
All right. So do we do Shedral? You know,
Yeah, yeah, because he's
let's do Shedral. We're going to do a Miracle Roll, gang. So we need some drum roll emojis for the big roll. I have been advised repeatedly by a certain viewer that I should wait longer for the drum rolls because I forget about the delay. But so we're going to wait for them. And in the meantime, we're just going to run by other ideas while we wait for the drum rolls. So and then we'll get
everything.
enough.
Everything hinges on the drum rolls.
It does. Everything hinges on the
If we
drum
don't
roll.
get them, we'll keep waiting for them until they can.
I should just give you more information. One of which is keep in mind, um, what is Quinn's drum roll there? What is that?
It's like barrels. Can't
If they're barrel rolls, I don't know. All right, so hey, look at that. We've got some.
tell. Yeah, they're drums, like oil drum.
Oh, that's what I wondered.
Ah,
That's so funny.
good. Already got our drums and drum rolls. So.
And Skull and Bones from beloved Quinn.
82. Nobody comes to my aid.
Nobody comes to your aid. Well, specifically Shedral does not come to your aid. So that the other thing is you could do levitate, drift down, and just drop everything down at your horse or down on that ledge. Everything's there. Load up the horse. Hope to find a way off the ledge. Um,
That's not bad. I wonder how Yeah, because then as long as I can find a way off the edge, then all my stuff is together and safe. So.
Right. And you do have that spell, Bridge of Light, that might help
Oh
you.
yes, yeah. I was thinking of that. If there is no way off the ledge, I could do a bridge of light somewhere.
Right.
Now, also if I do levitate, is my spear here, or would my spear also have been on the side?
Um, I think you had, didn't you? No, you had your bola. You had your bola and you had your shield when you went up. So your bola and shield are here.
Yeah.
A spear would have been on the horse then.
Okay.
I rolled for, by the way, I rolled for like, okay, how much stuff remained on his horse when the horse rolled down, 01. So only
Ah,
stuff stayed on was stuff that was latched.
yeah.
I was going to look up Bridge of Light real quick.
Yeah, Quinn. That's the point. It will be difficult casting a spell with one of my arms injured here. But we will see.
Yeah, there you go. Well, right. Well, yes, Quinn. Her the pain will be a penalty to all of her rolls. In fact, except for the miracle roll. Um, so
God, that would suck. Hey, I rolled 100. Well, you have a -1 penalty, so really it's a 90. Sorry. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I will use my channeling helm to try. Oh, well, yeah, I guess that would be on me. To in these crazy situations, you have to like know exactly what was on you and what wasn't, and it's like, oh.
yeah, I mean that's why I want you guys to keep track of that, because when these sort of events happen, I don't want there to be that. Gosh, I sure wish this was on me. Wouldn't I have had it on me? No, I don't want any of that. After the fact, I want it known well ahead of time. Uh,
Right, right. Now, but the one problem with that though is if everyone's taking a look at my notes, I have probably about 300 items, like and keeping track of all of them. So that's the duality is can't go into every single detail, but I can go into most. So at least I knew everything was in my bags on my horse. So
right.
much right. Um, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, let me make sure. Yeah, I have 2 slots in my channeling helm, so I'm going to cast levitate.
And guys, I'm gonna post the Brise's notes, personality, character sheet, and of course the our donate page, as well as the page for our Brise character there, done by the talented Elliot Dunovitz. Just going to post those up for people. You can also find them in the YouTube description down below the video if you guys want to click on any of those and keep track. All right, so you're going to do levitate.
Levitation, 34.
No problem. Raise your exhaustion. I will say, for your sake of vanity, that you can tell that the back of your like from the back of your shoulder, your left shoulder, down to your left buttock is just soaked in blood.
Oof.
It's just sticky in blood.
Ugh,
Um,
gross.
and so you're going to be quite a sight when you come across people, and you should just be aware of that. There's going to be a huge stain on the back of your. Actually, the cloak is kind of interesting. The cloak would have a stain on the back, but not on the interior, but not on the actual back, because
Right,
it's oiled.
right.
And so, um, all right. So now is tricky maneuvering. Um, so let's do a series of 3 rolls.
Okay.
Let's see. The air is very still, very unusually crazy. Even with a big bonus, it's still dead air up here.
Big bonus. What are you trying to kill me, Kevin?
It's in a mountain area.
True.
So, all right. So Yeah, so let's do the first part of your retrieval. So this is largely just maneuvering, not drifting off from the thing. So go to it.
73.
No problem. Drop some items down. Next.
4.
You are caught up in it's hard to tell if they're saplings or if they're just really thick bushes, but they're small wooded plants that grow up very high, but you can't tell if it's a young tree or a full grown bush, if you know the type of plant category I'm talking about. You're just snagged in it, and moving around is banging your arm against your body. Um, um, how many minutes do you have on the levitate?
It's a while. So it would have been 9 minutes.
Okay. All right. So you take 6 damage in pain. And 6 exhaustion from just doing this stuff.
All right.
All right, roll again. We got to get you free and moving.
19.
You are free, but it costs you damage. 8 more damage, 8 more exhaustion.
I'm burning through my exhaustion. I'm at 60 out of 100 now. So.
But there are no penalties until you get below half.
Right. So I'm close.
Yeah. But then the penalties are very small. Like I try to give you guys a lot of exhaustion to work with because you can burn through it so quickly. All right. Now what? I was right. So roll again.
Yep. So the 12. Jeez. What the heck?
And I have rolled for the priority of these items. It's basically whatever you would vote the most important thing. It was an open-ended roll for how important this set of items is.
Oh, man.
And it's at the base of very tall vegetation, and you just continually get hung up. And you keep banging your arm, and the arm is like you're bending down to reach for something.
Mm-hmm.
Your arm is just falling forward,
Oh.
which wasn't a problem until this tall vegetation.
Right.
Looking down behind you, it's much shorter. Your horse, as you look down behind you, is actually like waiting for you expectantly. I mean, like it's watching and like it's waiting for you almost like a dog, and it's made tea for you. So like I don't know why you're being an asshole and waiting.
Herbal tea, thank you.
Horsel tea. Horsel. Anyway.
Horse grass.
That's right. So,
So with that 12, I guess, to take some more damage, or
yes. No, actually, you don't take more damage. You're caught again in that same tall foliage. Although it's a different plant, but it's all this sort of brush that grows very tall and narrow up the slope.
Burn this damn forest down.
Well, I mean, you're at a point where, of course, you don't really have a means of doing that. Roll for me.
5.
Well, all right, that's our typical Brise reasoning roll, which we had broken that habit a long time ago. So you've learned nothing from this incident, and we'll just keep moving. All right, go at it again.
64.
All right. Down you go. It costs you 3 damage and 3 exhaustion. You have dropped those items down.
Right.
We're going to do one more. You're essentially sort of picking up items as you go. We're sort of doing the 3 most difficult batches, just to simplify the process. So, um, okay. Roll.
17. Oh my God.
Not a lot of stuff to get caught up on here. It's just that you can't maneuver yourself to reach them. So you keep bouncing around like, okay, it's like working in zero G. And so it is difficult. And eventually, what will happen is, probably in a couple of levels, is I will offer you a levitation skill. And it'll go toward all these sorts of roles
Yeah.
because we've practiced it so much.
Yeah, I do use it a lot.
Yeah.
Someone
And
who's nervous of heights, I use levitate a lot.
I know you're just stuck sometimes.
Yeah, because it is
Uh,
useful. It's very useful.
and it's the same thing with flying. Should you ever learn a flying spell, is after, if you use it a lot, then I offer you a flying skill, and that adds to your maneuvers to managing it. So, yeah, just roll again.
Okay. 41.
Not too difficult. Takes you longer than you want, but at least it's done. You come to rest down on the ledge. It is just wide enough for the horse or for one person to walk. It's plenty rough, plenty of moss covered boulders and so on. Most of them are set low to the ground, at least here within the span that you can see. The slope continues down at an even steeper angle. Um, and all right, so you pack up
Yeah, let's
horse.
get all my stuff, put it on my horse, and hop on.
All right, is there anything you need to equip now that you have access to everything? Is there anything you need to equip yourself with in particular now that you have access to it?
Yeah, I mean my shield probably on my right arm. I guess probably the best thing. In case
Well, yeah,
I end up in any combat.
yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I can't think of anything
Um,
else on my hand. I'll have my bolas would have been at my belt
right.
back there if they aren't.
Yeah, but you took your bolas up when you went
Right,
up.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, those are.
Anyways,
So all right. So which I guess pick a direction on the ledge and go.
the right way.
Okay, you go toward conservatism, and
Nice. Nice.
um, you just work your way around. It varies in um, in width. Um, and you find a sharp turn that goes down. Um, it's not going to surprise you to find goats up here, given the trail you're now seeing. It'd be funny if I said it wouldn't surprise you to see goats here, given the goats you're seeing. But um,
Just goats everywhere.
that's right. That's right. Um, but eventually you do reach an impasse. Um, you might have to back up and use Bridge of Light but there's no telling sort of over this sort of sheer place what then is going to be on the top of it. But this is where Laula.
Yeah. Can you explain? So I come to an impasse, as in like the trail like I'm trying to like a cliff like that.
It's actually a jutting of moss covered rock. I mean, it's the size of a house.
Yeah.
Down below you is just a drop
Mm.
into lovely greenery and trees down there, but you are looking at the tops of trees. Did you get? Didn't you have a magic horsehoof? Horseshoe.
Maybe. Let me check my horse items. Saddle of surefootedness and equestrian's horseshoe.
Adds a big bonus.
Wait, did I? Hold on. I wrote here trade in equestrian's horseshoe. Oh, no. Okay. No, yeah. I have the equestrian's horseshoe. Yeah. I just copied some spare text. So the horseshoes and the saddle of surefootedness. Horse magic items. Plus 15 to ride. Oh, yeah. I'm at like plus 30 to ride in terms of bonus.
Yeah, it's really. Yeah.
Plus 10 feet to jump. I'm just. Oh, wait. Did we say that was distance, right? Not height.
Right.
No. Wait. Height, length, and. Wait.
There you go.
Plus 10 feet to jump, height/length. So it's both.
So both.
Wow. Okay. I wonder if I can clear this rock. I mean, that's really risky. But
it is not no. So Laula has to go up first, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
10 feet of jumping. That's pretty cool.
That is beyond this rock. There is nothing. As in, after that, it is a sheer drop.
Ooh. I said I wanted to go the right way, Kevin. This is clearly the wrong way.
I apologize for even suggesting it.
Man, okay. Well, I guess we'll have to turn back and try the other route.
All right, roll.
32.
So a very ginger, slow maneuver to turn on this narrow ledge. Roll for me.
88.
You're thinking that the distance down to this next part of the mountain, I mean, you are seeing treetops. The trees look young. So if some of these might only be 30 feet or so, if you could make a bridge of light that arcs from some part of this ledge down to that next part. The thing is, you can't have trees in your way. Then you could ride basically at a down arc, and if need be, you could use the horse then to jump, although you're probably going to have to levitate off. There's no way you can take that landing. No way you can take that landing.
So, right. That's if... Yeah, because I'm kind of off the path anyway. It might be a good idea. Then I'll at least be lower down. What level is Bridge of Light again?
Relatively high.
9th level. So I can give it a shot with my channeling helm. I think that's a great idea, just because being up here, it's kind of risky,
I mean, at some point you're going to have to find a place just to camp. I mean, if it and this ledge is not it.
Well, let's just go back the other way on the ledge to see if there's anything that way. And then if it doesn't improve, then I'll try that.
We should have checked what time we started. What time when the day was it when you came across the carriage and so on.
Oh, let me see if I can. Oh, it actually would have been late. It was early afternoon when. Wait, I'm confused. I stayed another night. Okay, wake up late morning. So it late morning, and then I took off, and then I found the carriage. So it can't be.
Right. So it is probably mid-afternoon now. So you probably only got 2, 3, 4 hours of light left.
Right. Um, yeah, depending on how long I was conked out for, right? So
Well, you can tell from the flow of blood running down your arm that you would have died had you been out for, I mean,
any
several.
amount of time.
Yeah. Um, and goatees, Quinn, not just goatses. So you could send Laula to scout this lower portion.
Oh yeah, good idea.
And
Yeah.
this, like, while you're riding back, you send her down below your ledge, beneath the foliage, and she can just flit, and if she sees something, and you just trust the horse to stay to the ledge,
Right.
and um,
Trust my horse named Judas not to footing.
I mean, you put a blindfold on, you're like, this is good. I don't know why. Why is our online audience gasping in terror? I don't understand, but it's fine. So you ride for a while. Um, Laula, so some minutes. Um, Laula does spot a location where a place where the ledge dips, and there's a pile of boulders on a bare spot in this lower portion of the mountain where you could use, it feels like you could use Bridge of Light to descend. And you wouldn't need to, you think you could stay on the horse the whole time.
Yeah.
So, um, but that's coming up relatively soon. Do you want to make use of that or keep going?
Let's do that. Let's make use of that. Get off this ledge. Get down to lower ground. I'm more than likely going to be camping, so
Yeah.
be in a good place already.
Come to the spot. You send Laula down just to do a circle around that spot. You'd hate to land there and wake up ogres.
What?
I know. How's that? How's that?
Up. Up.
That's something we didn't think about. And that is Laula could just go up and circle if there's a nearby campfire or anything.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. And that's where you get those cool stuff in that familiars list, right? The familiar spell list, where you could send your bird to that camp, hide her in the bushes, and have her talk.
Right. Come in peace.
And be like, my master needs help.
Yeah.
My master needs help.
By Jove, it's a talking bird.
That's
just capture it and like.
That's what we're gonna need to start doing. Well, you and I are gonna sit down one day, right, Max? We'll hang out at your place and we'll sit down and we'll watch all of our streams. And for each stream, we choose a line that's gonna be the title. And we go through and retitle every one of these, right? So, by Jove, it's a talking bird is already the winner.
Yeah.
By Jove. So there it is. So good old Bridge of Light. For anybody watching, Bridge of Light is a spell that produces a bridge of light.
Magical bridge of light that is solid only to those named by the caster. One end must rest on a solid surface strong enough to support the weight of the people the bridge is supporting. The bridge can only extend 20 feet plus 1 foot of level. So I can cast 28 feet of magical iridescent bridginess.
Right. And this, by the way, is a great way to kill ogres. No kidding. No, you cast it, you cross it, you dare them to cross.
Oh, right. I see.
They plummet to their death. then you go down and have sex with your corpses, like usual. All right. So,
What was that last part?
what? What's
It
that?
was like the end of the contract. It was in like tiny text.
That's right. All right. So cast it up, and then cast to aim.
89.
No problem. Cast to aim.
95.
Oh, fantastic. So
That's a fine bridge of light.
that's right. So it costs you one less exhaustion because you cast it really well.
God, I'm at 49 exhaustion, so I passed the threshold.
That's right. So you're at a tiny additional penalty. Minus 98.
Again, like a small penalty of 98.
That's right. So now just roll to, kind of gingerly maneuver down this thing. It is a little steeper than you would have liked, but there's nothing doing, right? I mean,
33.
plenty of bonuses to offset your pain. All right, so a little jarring, so I'm going to give you 5 hits, and I'm going to give you 5 exhaustion just from the pain of what's going on. I should have stopped and said, well, Lala's found nothing. I should have told you that.
Yeah, right.
She did find evidence of an old campsite. So there is sounds of a waterfall nearby. So clearly there's water not too far off. You say, hey, lead on to the campsite. That's fine.
Absolutely, yeah.
You do have some more light.
Right.
I don't know if you want to necessarily stop here or if you do want to push on.
Let's stop here just in case I think I could scout ahead, but then worst case I get like lost,
Right.
It's really nice campsite, so we won't pass that up.
Right.
Stop here and take it easy.
Right.
Have some food and rest.
So we'll just go through a whole ritual of things. I mean, a lot of your ritual you're going to skip in the sense of you're probably not going to bother with trying to read.
No. Now I would wash my clothes in the stream.
Yeah, you would probably go to the waterfall and
want to wear dirty clothes.
Yeah, you got to get that.
I want to clean myself. Yeah, full of
blood. Bathe in the icy waters and so on, and just gingerly take care of your injury. Arm is swollen and purple, and and you just sort of flog your clothes, against rocks to get the blood out. After that, it's
I do have what am I doing? I do have bars of soap and stuff. I did manage to get all my stuff.
And we'll assume you're using all of those.
Okay. Yeah. I've got buckets and bath brushes and stuff. I just set it all out and have it, a nice.
That's right. All you need now is like a tub to boil some hot water in. I mean, because this is all going to be snow melt, and because these are mountains of such height that they don't ever lose their snow at the very top.
Yeah.
So you check over the horse after you're feeling it. Of course, she takes her fill of water and so on, or him, and our gender problem with just me referring to you as a he when your character's a female and all that kind of stuff.
Have
Obi-Wan
no
and
worries.
I, Obi-Wan and I have been watching The Closer, which is a fun crime drama that I recommend to you. And in there, she continually refers to like their pet cat by the wrong gender. Even
Yeah.
like because it's the cat is called Kitty and it's a he, and
Mhm.
she always calls it she. And then later, like our main character's parents come to visit and bring some of her childhood Christmas stuff with her,
Mhm.
and and look, we even brought the angel you made for the Christmas tree, when you were 8. And she goes, Keith. That's so great.
Oh,
So,
the angel.
so yeah, pretty funny stuff there. But so um, um, checking over the horse, scratches, abrasions,
Yeah.
nothing that seems serious to you. That
Checking over my stuff too. Nothing was damaged, like my lantern or any of my
wow,
notebooks and journals.
no, nothing crazy. Rolled a 13. Um, um, definitely, your horse's left foreleg is. Oh, hey, that's right. 10 Karandrin points. Anyone who can get us a sponsorship from TNT for the closer plug right there.
Yeah.
Or if Kira Sedgwick wants to sponsor Karandrin,
Please.
sponsorship is a mere $500,000, which won't touch our problems. We're so down, but it'll be a start.
That'll cover 10% of my debts.
That's right. So the
Yeah, I was gonna look up something, and then your comment like distracted me.
Kira Sedgwick.
What do I say?
Okay.
Oh, what boots am I wearing? Actually, I just got some better boots.
Are there's the boots made for walking?
Yeah, but I have boots made for swimming. Plus
Ooh.
15 rune. I don't have boots listed on my character. I guess that means I just wear plain boots. I'm walking
You've
barefoot
had
the whole
I
time.
know you well, I know you started with boots because I start all characters with boots, even
Right.
when I shouldn't.
Right.
Um, like I started Josh's character, well, Josh's other character, who's a halfling, and I was like, he shouldn't wear boots, but oh well, I gave him boots. We'll assume it's for jagged areas.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I wear these boots now.
Um,
I was just looking through my items. I'm like, oh, these were off somewhere. Some monster dropped them. I think from the spider, maybe. Spider's thing. Okay, yeah, so my stuff looks good. So you said the horse, does he have any injuries?
he's got that. He's got a leg that he's favoring. It's the left front leg. Um, and roll for me.
8.
But the the best thing for him, you think, is just for him to keep working it, and until it gets better. So, um, um, so
I have to amputate it. 3-legged horse.
that's right. We're going to do a whole episode that's just nothing but the surgeries you do on your horse. I need a miracle roll because I need a Leviticus clamp, and well, they haven't been invented yet. I need horse anesthesia. Oh, hey, ketamine.
Okay, I need 2 miracle rolls. 1 for it to be invented, and 2.
So all your miracle rolls from here on are that my next 2 miracle rolls come true.
That I get 2 more miracle rolls.
It's the old genie trick. Um, so all right. So I don't think there's anything else. Is there anything else you need to do for your survival? Because like we said, a lot of the sort of your nighttime Common
I will,
task.
I'll cast Disguise Can't.
Okay. Roll it up.
It's pretty low level. 28.
Okay. Um, so, yep, that is nicely and safely done.
Let me write down when I cast that because that'll last for a while.
Send Lala out, for like one scout around from, now that you sort of recentered, right, by 100 yards or so. You have her do just another circle. Some of course, just encompasses the base of the ledge where you were up. But and in doing so, further down the ledge, she does find um, what seems to be um, a small homestead or something that's long been abandoned.
Oh,
Um, it's a couple of 100 yards away. Um,
that'll
as she
be.
sort of flits around it, because there's a number of buildings. Um, it looks like it might have been. Did you see Quinn's comment? Have you
No, I don't.
considered not surviving?
It might be exciting. It's easy, that's for sure. Just keep casting spells till I fumble one of them.
Obi-Wan and I have done a great job of not surviving in real life. It's been just terrific. Our slow downward spiral has been exciting.
Very slow, very downward spiral.
The settlement, you realize, is not as humble as you once thought it was. It was sort of, the vines and overgrowth on it that made you um, think so. But it looks to be some sort of chateau. Quite wealthy residents at some point lived here.
Haunted mansion in the woods. What do you guys think? Should I go in?
In your present state, I think you should, with a blindfold.
Yeah, I'm. That sounds interesting. All the way out of here.
Well, I want you to keep in mind your character is still in a lot of
No,
pain.
exactly. Like, if it was small, then maybe it was worth like pulling up in there. But if it's big, who knows what's lurking? What's
It's a
made it?
moderate-sized home surrounded by 4 or 5 other buildings. Um, it's hard to tell if they're cottages or outbuildings, for work. Um, but what you initially took to be sort of columns or supports for something like a work shed or something like that, they turn out to be statuary. And of course, that immediately is okay. Well, this is more well-to-do. Um, so, and in fact, specifically, um, they're obelisks, and as Lala flies by one, it has bird imagery carved on it, which may ring a
Oh,
bell.
no way. Yeah, it does.
Why don't you update the folks on bird engraved obelisks?
Let me tell you, folks, about the very creative idea that's Kevin come up with, Karandrin, the bird engraved obelisk. No, my character Brise came across weeks ago while wandering an area to the the east of here,
It
southeast.
would be because it was in the vetch that you
Right.
found it.
I'd go
So the
here.
vetch is west of here.
Yeah. Okay. To the west, to the west of where I am currently. this area called the Vetch, I came across a few of these obelisks. I think they were like black stone with different birds, like imagery of birds, like depictions of hunting and like birds fighting each other. And they all represented, I can't remember the language they were inscribed in, but they're all describing different houses and different possibly historical events, like rivalries between different family houses, or when certain houses fell or married with others. Pretty interesting. So I'm definitely intrigued by that. Obelisk. But you know why? Because I think it's on my handwritten notes. I don't have it here. It was that long ago. It was before I started like typing notes on the computer. Pretty cool. Okay.
Can I, Max? I'm gonna tell on Obi-Wan. She called me a dork. Please punish her.
When did I? What?
Obi-Wan called me a dork.
Crazy face and glasses.
I was doing. I
mean, Kevin, you have a point.
I get no respect on my own urine stream. No respect.
Sorry. Search my notes for obelisk and I lost my place. Down here. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Birds. Imagery. So I will definitely check that out tomorrow. If Lala doesn't find anything else, that might be a danger there, then I'll summon her back. And
well, do you want to really send her into individual buildings?
Oh, sure. Why not? Yeah, she could just kind of find a window and peek inside.
As long as the window is, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like out in the open, she's a lot safer than going into an enclosed space.
Right.
I just want to throw that out there before, she walks into trouble.
Good idea. So she could peer in through windows, but let's not
right
into the buildings.
Everything seems fairly empty, fairly quiet. In between buildings, there is a glimpse of something white. You have her return to that. It is the bones of something, but long covered by leaves. So whatever created that or whatever died here, it was some some weeks ago easily. Quinn is worried about your wound. You can see he's providing medical advice. Oh my! Is it Dr. Quinn? Is it Dr. Quinn, medicine woman?
Dr. Quinn. Dr. Professor Quinn.
Dr. Professor Quinn. I don't know if I've told you. I'm sure I've told you. I told Max this story, but for any future listeners of this watchers of this stream, my little niece Charlie and I, we play hospital, right? Because we can't tell her, oh, let's play doctor. That's terrible. So she likes to pretend like she's a physician, and so she'll do stupid stuff on me and do surgeries and all this silly stuff. And I said, are you sure you know what you're doing, doctor? And she goes, yes, I went to doctor school and doctor high school. And so I just love that.
That's fantastic.
Like that is exactly that's logical for her to think that's how it works. But,
how it should work.
That's right. I mean, it's one of those things where there's nothing wrong with the logic. It just happens not to be true, right? I mean,
not to suit our reality.
So she's found nothing that indicates
habitation.
Yeah, that indicates a resident, I guess I should say.
It didn't indicate any resident evil.
That's right.
Resident, no zombies. Okay.
There's a double joke there from Quinn. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Man, get it right, Bronx.
Bronx.
That's really funny. Which is from one of my favorite movies, which is Medicine Man. Which, maybe that's one we should do on our movie night that you and I keep talking about doing. Max, is we're gonna do Sneakers, Hunt for October, and we can do Medicine Man. I love
All at the
Medicine
same time.
Man. Yes. Bring all our devices. Oh, God. How do you get an aneurysm? That's how you get an aneurysm, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I'll bring her back to me then.
All right. She comes right back. I think it's unlikely that I'll need to know, but
I don't know how good I am at setting up a tent one-handed, so I might just do that.
Forgo.
Sleeping bag, yeah. Hope it doesn't rain.
Boulder size hail is in the forecast.
Damn it! Is that a spell? I can just predict what the weather is going to be. If only this was Earthsea, and it's just every wizard knows how to control the weather.
That's right. There is I think on Netflix you can watch the Earthsea trilogy.
It's the animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't very faithful. It's not a very good representation. So I'm still reading all the books, but I will eventually. But I have low expectations. I don't know if anyone else has seen it. If you can convince me otherwise, but
right, yeah, it's not one I've seen.
It's probably beautifully animated, but it's just probably capture the whatever you call
it. Goes off text. All right, so bedtime.
Yep.
So then roll for me.
56.
Roll for me.
33.
And roll for me.
And 49.
All right.
It is April 22nd.
April 22nd.
Less than a month to my birthday in game. Max's birthday. I don't know what day Brise was born.
I thought we had rolled that up. Let me see.
I don't know if they even celebrate birthdays in this godforsaken world.
Well, I decided I would roll characters' birthdays because when you play with a team, I thought it would be kind of neat for them to know because it's kind of cool for players to do things for each other in game.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, that'd be kind of nice to know. I thought
I'd get an extra miracle roll on my birthday.
That's right. Well,
I don't have it listed here.
Yeah, I should roll it up for you. Well, this is my job. This is what I signed up for. All right. Well, it's going to be an interesting day. So you wake up. Things seem undisturbed. Everything seems fine. You are still not. You would have healed though over the night. You heal so goddamn fast. How many are you short?
I am 134 out of 167. So
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that in a night, no problem.
Boom.
Jeez.
I'm Deadpool.
I mean, it's insane how much you heal. I did all this clever math and so on to figure out how much a character should heal each night. And man, it works great until you get characters with just extraordinary healths.
Right.
And then it blows. It really goes. 10% off your incoming e-criticals on your birthday. Now, Quinn.
Fantastic.
Quinn, it's a time of giving. Shouldn't it be 10% more e-criticals?
Just add an extra critical.
That's right.
Free.
Yeah. And I guess in Karandrin, receiving a, and I guess I should say for everybody who doesn't know, this is based on Rollmaster. Rollmaster uses a critical system. E is the most severe critical you can get. It'll kill you 1 out of 4 times. They're very deadly. And So I guess on your birthday, if you got an E card in Karandrin, that's really dangerous. Like you don't want to open that son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
E is not a good letter.
It's
Critical epsilon.
right. Um,
And then on Christmas, when it's all about giving, I should give extra criticals.
that's right.
You
Um, so you could sleep more. You know, obviously you didn't have the best night's sleep with an arm in so much pain, but that's up to you. Um, what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's sleep more. I don't, I don't feel like I don't know. I don't know how my character deals with pain, but I feel like coming from high merchant kind of class family, it's like I want to deal with this. I'm going to go to bed until I feel better.
Right now, you
No
do
reason
have an
to get up
appointment.
and work.
Don't you have an appointment you're trying to keep?
Well, no, I have. Well, now that you mentioned that, I can double check. But no, I haven't been seen Adabir in about 4 days now. I saw him on the 17th, I think.
Yeah,
So now I was trying to get to him yesterday, right? So now it's been 4 whole days, and I haven't been back there. So it seems about time I should check in.
right.
But yeah, he didn't give me any dates or anything. I assume he expected me to be back, within
I mean,
reason.
really, the I mean, the great thing about, of course, being sort of tied in with a castle is that you'll have lots. You have this big support staff, right? Even if they were to completely move base camp, there would be people with information left behind, ready to pass on to you,
Right,
probably a rider to take you there,
right, right.
you know?
Don't have to be too worried about
Right.
that. So
Hey,
hi,
Arpin,
Arvin.
thanks for joining us. So, um,
Yeah, yeah. It's more of just like I kind of respect Radabiner if he needs anything. See
right,
what progress is going on. So
right,
you want to get back post haste. But now
right,
there's a cool house that I might explore. Well, I guess I can always teleport there and teleport back.
right. And I'm thinking the amount of pain you're in, I mean, you are,
Yeah,
you
true.
know,
Would be
it
nice just
seems
to.
you're relatively safe here. Um, and the um, you could go and get healing and come back.
Right.
Um, your clothes are dry and clean. Um, so um,
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could just teleport back to the fortress, get an update on everything, see if anyone can offer me some healing, and come back when I next get an opportunity.
all right. So, are you going to teleport back to town or teleport back to the castle? Your
How
spot
far
outside the.
is the town from the castle again? Is that like a
Oh,
10 minute
I mean,
drive?
literally, it's within sight.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
could always ask someone for a horse to get into town. Just teleport there again. So I'd rather go to the castle.
sure, and they'll have physicians, on staff.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, so let me think. Do I want to bring any? I will bring some stuff just so I could drop it off in the room that I have. Let me give me 10 seconds so I can write down. Let me gather all this stuff here.
um, yeah, once you gather your wits, I should repost our notes and stuff for anybody who wants to click on things and check in. Um, so, um, um, so for people just joining us on the stream, um, she Brise had found a ton of loot, including 2 bags that were locked magically. And so off stream, we were going to try to have her deal with the bags and then continue traveling just to save you guys some of the travel rolls. And she, so she was going to, she did cast successfully a very powerful unlock spell at 20th level. She cast an unlock spell on the bag, but the bag don't play. That bag does not play, and it knocked her on her ass, and apparently broke her arm. She still has tremendous pain in the arm despite having healed the break. The arm is useless. I mean, it's just flopping around. So she had a restless night's sleep. And the bag disappeared. We don't know what happened to it.
Right.
There remains one more bag up on that slope, but Brise was unwilling to risk teleporting with it. And so since then, she's been just trying to get off the slope and find her bearings and make it back to town. And now that she's got a decent camp here, she's thinking about teleporting to town to get healing.
Yeah, I would have left that bag behind. Right, it was kind of heavy. It was,
I mean, I think your caution was well warranted. I mean, that thing literally almost cost you your life.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Knows
people,
what other enchantments that are cast on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the people who are playing at that level, so to speak, they're not to be trifled with. I mean, they're not. These are people who, they're going to have henchmen. They're going to have resources at their disposal. If they're doing that to protect 2 bags they're sending somewhere, you can imagine what else they could do. Yeah. Hey, you gave it a good shot. Pass.
Yeah. Chances are it's going to be there when I come back and can cast it at 40th level.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Just keep coming back there every month and like trying it again, almost dying every time. Eventually.
The remaining bag is the lure bag. It has a magic. It's a bag of muffling and a bag of fullness. It makes you think there's stuff in it.
Oh my god!
And all it does is
a middle finger in it.
That's right. That's all it does is give you a.
So I gathered the stuff I'm going to take with me. We'll try to do a teleport back to that one spot outside the fortress.
Okay.
Fortress.
Oh, it's properly a castle, which is to say, it is not just built for military; it is also built for comfort, at least for the proper residents.
That's a good distinction. Yeah, castle, fortress.
I saw a documentary one time talking about castles were positioned. So like, if you had a major castle at the end of a road, what you do is you position smaller castles off to the side, and they were talking about, like, you would think that wouldn't be why not meet the army out in the open and just destroy them, because aren't you going to just get sieged? And they said part of the strategy was that as this army came through your territory, they had to go siege this castle and this castle and this castle and this castle and your castle, and now it's divided your army. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, that still doesn't sell me on the strategy. I mean, not that having a fortified place is a bad idea. I'm just not sure that's a great strategy.
That's the coolest thing about strategies is there's so many of them, and they like intermix like so many ways.
Well, and they evolve to counter.
Yeah. The generals will like think one way, the other general will always think the other way. But then you have someone from a different culture who thinks a completely different way, like the Huns, right? They just like destroyed all of our, all of Europe's defenses.
Well, there's a particular time architecturally where castles stopped using straight walls. They would use slightly rounded walls.
Yeah.
Because it helps deflect battering rams. It helps deflect boulders thrown. There were drills that were used against castles and things like that, and it was harder to get through to get that starting point because the walls were rounded. I mean, it's just interesting. They sort of move and counter move of strategy. But
Right.
all right. Teleporting is what we are about. Headed back to the castle, and I'm sure you're not going to die. So
Absolutely.
I should find. All right, so you're teleporting back to Lady Meagraw's castle, or just outside of it, because you're not really permitted to teleport into a castle. So roll it up.
24.
Not great. Costs you 15 exhaustion, and roll
99.
roll again and add it.
Right on target. 38.
Okay. Yeah, perfect placement. And that female goblin spellcaster appears.
I forgot. Wait, actually, I need to remember. Did she told me it's okay if I teleport here, right?
She did,
Yeah.
but she's forgotten. But she sees you, and she's like, "Right, that was close."
Yeah.
And oh, hey, what are you taking with you?
Oh well, I wrote it down here. I have a
Okay.
sack with all this treasure stuff that I just want to dump off in my room at Mia Grall's, and my sack, my bookcase of holding, and what's just on my belt, my small pouches. So I'm leaving all my campsite stuff behind, of course,
Right.
stuff. And
Like, I really wanted to take my campfire. I don't know. I think I built a good campfire.
The campfire just like appears next to me. The woman appears like on the campfire, like, ah,
sorry.
Whoops.
Did you? What was I going to ask you? Dang it! Shoot. You got to take Lala with you. Obviously, dang it! I was going to ask you something. I dealt with the teleport and bringing stuff. Shoot, I can't remember. Dang it! That's going to be. I'm sure that's going to matter later, but that's all right. All right. So, oh no, there it is. It's not going to matter that much. It is my job, but so do you want to eat at camp or do you want to eat here?
Yeah, let's eat here. Just save my food.
Sure. So she just turns her back on you. She trudges up the thing.
I can stop her for a moment and say, "Hey, I don't think she gave you her name, but does anyone at the castle, maybe you know of anyone with healing?" Got into a bit of a spot.
Actually, roll for me first.
72.
You know that the goblins, being a practical people, and also you having need to make inroads among this particular staff, it might behoove you to start tipping generously, even in situations where perhaps you don't need to tip.
Fair enough.
So
I might follow up my question with a couple coins.
Jingling of coins.
And yeah. Jingle jangle.
And consider her position before you choose an amount. She's in charge of protecting. At least she's in charge. She is part of the magical protections of a nobleman's castle.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to remember, find my last encounter with her to know if there's anything that would help that. formulate that opinion of her, or that not opinion, but what you're saying, her position. So, but you're right.
Right. She appeared. You recall
plays a
she
very
appeared.
important role in.
Yeah, I mean, she's entrusted with, you know, detecting teleports in the area and addressing them.
Right.
You know, and so presumably she tells someone that she's detected one, and she goes. If she doesn't return within a certain amount of time, then the alarm goes out.
True. Yeah. So very, very
Um,
important. Very important. Crucial
and the other,
role.
and so like you, just generally speaking, you're realizing, um, you need to build relationships. Now that's not always going to mean gold, right? You know that these, the goblins do have a great sense of humor. They like busting each other's chops. That's a sign of strength to them, right? Wit is a very large part of their culture,
Right.
and so um, these people have some loyalty, obviously, to Mia Grawl, but it's going to vary case by case.
Sure.
And so, just give that some thought. Here's an instance where you may think, well, this person is too high up and it's too esoteric. Like, what am I going to do with this magical person? You may really need, servants more than you may need a magical guardian,
Possibly.
right? So I'm just throwing it out there that it has
Yeah.
occurred to you, hey, I need to build relationships, and gold is a way of doing that. And I have a ton of gold now. So what do you want to say to her?
I said it so directly. Now you're like questioning. I was gonna say it. I mean, I was just gonna be straight. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, are there any healers at the castle? I could really use some help here, and I'll make sure I have some coins in my hand. She can see as I'm asking. And I guess, yeah, I'll just, pull out like 10 gold coins just in my hand.
Your gold is brighter than you are. Of course, there's physicians at the castle. Ask the guards; they'll show you the way. And she does it. She just waves off your gold and turns and
Okay.
walks.
Okay. Well, if she's walking, I guess I'm following her, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're even going to have to adjust your stride so you don't pass her because they're short.
Yeah.
You know. So you make it up. Of course, you let Lala fly all over the castle.
Oh, absolutely. Spying Lady Mugral in the back.
Lady Meagraw, naked.
How old is she again? Like 50?
She's old. So make it to the gates. You see her speak to them briefly and gesture to you.
Mm-hmm.
As you come up, they and here again, like basically every person you meet, just consider if you want to jest with, or if you want to just throw a few coins their way, whatever.
Okay.
I hear you need healing, says the guard to you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Could you be able to point me in the right direction there?
Points you to a courtyard the opposite way of Adabir's assigned quarters. I should say your assigned quarters. And he says, through the archway, around back, beyond the stables.
Now, remember, I'm carrying a sack of stuff. Do they care about that,
or? What was the rule they gave you? They said that.
Oh, I'm supposed to hold my weapons like in front of me, which I would be doing with my spear.
Would you even bring your spear?
Oh yeah, no, I would have left that behind. So
I don't really.
the only thing I have, yeah, is just this sack of weapons. Oh yeah, he's legitimately like it's full of weapons. So I would stop at the gate, and I guess
I mean, if you want to show him, show him.
I won't. I'll just keep him in the bag, and
Okay.
so I'm just letting you know. Yeah, that's what
Um, oh man, you should tell people what you found because we rolled that up after the session, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, you know what we'll do? I'll drop it off in my room, and then I could iterate it there. Yeah, when I'm like pulling it out of the bag.
So does that say you're going to your room first?
Yeah. Well, if he so he points me to the courtyards, and what does he say? Like, just go there.
Yeah, he gives you those directions. It's
Okay.
apparently the back far side of the castle from your own quarters. Um, which is closer to the edge of the far edge of the property.
Okay. Well, then I'll go to my room first, drop my stuff off. And,
Okay. And what stuff are you dropping off?
I am dropping off a +10 substance dagger, a +10 uh, C for craft, serrated hand axe, +25 substance mace, fourth weight, two of them, two +25 magic change search, which are both +5 essence adders. So if
Good
you were
lord.
an adder essence spellcaster, you'd have 5 extra spell slots to use a day if you were wearing that. Two spiked metal skull caps, +20 magic, +10 substance, a +5 magic heavy crossbow that has a space for holding potions, and a Jack's hammer, which, if you remember, I fought that child undead
Oh yeah.
girl who was incredibly fast and was wielding this hammer that allowed her to just spring in the air and come down at me. 30 feet in the air, 5 feet horizontal, bring this weapon down with an additional +15 force. Whew. So, a lot of stuff, a lot of weapons.
And what coinage are you dropping off?
Oh, yes. And, oh my God, did I even add that to my. Need a.
You're such a sloppy bookkeeper.
I am. I am. Well, I'm keeping the mithril on me.
On you?
Maybe. I guess maybe not all of it, right? I'll drop off. So I found. Gosh, how much did I find again? I found 25 mithril and 600 gold. So again, basically the richest person. I could buy this castle if I wanted
Okay.
to. Let me wait. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So I'm dropping off. Yeah, just those coins, those spare coins. That's putting that in the bag and dropping that off too. So
So keep in mind, like if you're going to be in the wilderness and occasionally then dealing with lower income society, I would keep some bronze and copper on you.
oh yeah, yeah.
And
How about two? Is that two enough? Two. Probably get some more. Let's say I'm at the castle and make some change.
yeah, I'm fine with that. Really, I mean, let's just assume that among staff and things like that, that you can make change while you're at the castle.
Actually, this is probably a good time because I need to tabulate my notes and rearrange stuff to take a break.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm fine to do that. Guys, thanks for joining us. We're gonna take a quick break and drink and
Be
get drunk.
merry.
And so we're gonna do all that kind of stuff. And hopefully you guys will just stick with us through the break. Um, um, and just hang tight for a few minutes, and we'll be right back with you. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, hang tight.
That's right. We'll see you in just a second. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us through the break. We were just discussing, you know, how to kill Brise. That's all we do.
Really? While I calculate all my spoils and loot and everything, I left something out. By the way, I also have a full shield. I found full shield, like 13 and a half pounds. Jesus, good thing I have
I
a
mean,
bag of holding. So that was in there. Oh, it's half weight full shield. So it's 11. Normally it would weigh
23 pounds.
22. Yeah, 23 pounds. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's meant to stop axes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's no joke.
Let me axe you a axe. But yeah, so I dropped that off, and I mean, while I'm here, I'll just look around, for Adabir, kind of make my presence known. I don't want to seem like I'm rushing out.
Right.
See if there's any word of any proceedings or anything occurred.
You clearly attract attention. Um, because you're walking, so basically holding your arm. Because you can't let it
Somebody
move.
gets a little bit close to my left arm, like, hey, back off there.
That's right.
Injured woman.
Adabir is not visible.
Cast an invisibility spell. I knew
That's
it.
right. I should call it my NPCs. I forgot to do that. I should have done that during the break.
For anyone who's curious if they've forgotten, Adabir's elderly wizard who kind of inspired to go on this journey here, seeking the demon Kralum in his location atop a volcano in southern Nargis.
Yeah, Adabir.
He's been going hard. I don't know what he's been doing the past 5 days, but it hasn't been easy.
And Adabir is unique in that while he's spent his life studying demons, he believes there's a way to essentially capture them and siphon their power or harness their power somehow to be used for the benefit of society.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Obi-Wan, that was a terrible joke. Can I ask you a question?
Not anymore. You're
Um,
getting kicked from
that's right.
tree.
So, Adabir has enlisted an old contact, this lady Miogral, and she's the noble woman whose castle they're staying at and using as a base of operations. So the so you deposit you so the head of the household, the head man for
Burla.
Yes. He's informed that you're returned. To knock at your doors, you're sort of unloading loot, dumping stuff on that bed you never use. You don't care.
Under the sheet, so it looks like I'm sleeping and getting larger every night.
I mean, there would be a chest for storing stuff there. That's interesting. Do you have bags? Do you have bags at the home, at your residence?
I would say no, because I didn't expect to be finding all this loot. But now that I do have a lot of loot, I'm like, probably.
Yeah, so that's just something you can tend to later. Because
I mean, some of this stuff again, like weapons I have, serrated hand axe. I mean, I guess the hand axe will fit in the bag, right? So will maces.
Yeah. I mean, all that stuff will fit in there. My point is, at some point you are going to take that to town.
Right.
Who knows? Like you're back and forth and so on. You probably wouldn't need that. You need to have some bags at the residence. But that's something.
Well, I mean, it's funny. I brought a bag, all the stuff in, so I'll just keep it in there and throw the stuff that's already there into the bags.
Right. So you.
Treasure. So I'll say I leave one of the sacks,
Um, he comes to the door, knocks on the door, calls to you, asks if he can be of any assistance. He's heard word that you're injured.
Um, I've said, I just tell him a guard has already pointed me to um, the place where I can find a healer. So I think I won't need any. And then I just ask him any news I should be aware of. I would open the door to it and meet him.
Yeah, sure.
Have a conversation here.
He's got all the, you've been asked to watch for any of his.
That too. I was gonna say, like, let's
He's
see.
got heavy gold chains. He's like, what up?
Does he have like gold teeth?
He does.
Have you always had gold teeth? Of course, ever since I was 3.
And the mithril eyelids. Are those you? Yes. Is it me? You? Me?
Mithril mascara. Oh my!
Mithril mascara. That's it.
They're getting that off with makeup remover. Jeez.
So the he says the Adabir would like a word, but clearly you must tend to your injury. And you can tell that he is. I mean, he's looking extremely concerned at your face. And as you turn and find a mirror in the room, you're like, "Oh, I'm in a lot of pain." I mean,
Yeah.
your face is just clenched. Which, dear viewers, may be one of the reasons that my face is often clenched while we're playing. But we just have
One day you're not gonna have any more chronic pain. Your face is gonna be like all the
Well,
time.
seriously, I had a break in my headaches. God, ages ago. Good Lord, so long ago. And I had a break for about 50 minutes. And apparently, you're not aware that your body pumps out endorphins to deal with the pain. So when the pain is gone suddenly, you're stuck with all these endorphins. And so I was giddy. I was a little drunk. And I didn't realize. And we've had several neurologists tell us, like, yeah, I mean, Kevin, you say your pain's a 6, but you've dealt with a level of 6 pain at, for at that time, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it was. And he said, so your pain of a 6 to us might be crippling.
Yeah.
Like, there's no telling now how high your tolerance for pain is. And so and the resulting depression and so on. It's one of those things you can't tell people just to snap out of, despite various conservative myths to the contrary.
Despite Obi-Wan Karen's comment.
That's right. That's right. He was told that recently by a loved one, and
Maybe we just scare everyone to try to scare Kevin. Try to hey, scare him.
Depression and pain fixed. So
anyway, I'm like, forgive me if I'm off-putting, but if you're right, I should definitely I'll seek the healer and go to Adabir as soon as I can.
So he fetches a wagon, and you're helped downstairs, and
well, as long as they're not, as long as they're touching my arm, and I'm like, I'm fine. Just in case I fall, be ready to catch me.
An older goblin stops you guys at the door, and he is introduced as Adabir's personal physician. And he's like, "You're not sending her to the Sawbones, for the men. That's ridiculous. Bring her to the lounge or whatever." and so all the men are kicked out except for himself and some maids, and you undress um, and he examines you, and he tells you that you did a really good job patching the blood vessel that was torn. He tells you about the muscle and cartilage in your arm, the sinews of your arm were almost severed by the breakage of the bone,
Wow.
and they must have snapped closed when you fell. Um, and he can tell that the bone is not it's healed, but it's not perfectly aligned.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, he said, you might find some problems with that in your old age, but it'll do for now. Um, and so um, he sends out instructions, and they come back, and he tells you to lay there for an hour, and they they bring an herb, and they pack the muscles on both sides in this herb, and they wrap you up. They give you sort of a gown to put on basically over you, and they get the fire big because it is chillier up the slope, and and you're kind of doted on for the next hour.
Well, this is nice.
Um,
We're gonna do food. And I didn't have breakfast. If it wouldn't
yeah.
trouble you, I haven't had breakfast.
A talking bird. By Jove.
Show.
I'm telling you, we're going to retitle all of these. And so Adabir eventually comes down, or not really comes down because he probably doesn't have anything upstairs. All of his stuff is probably downstairs.
Adabir falls down the stairs.
That's right.
That's
That's all.
the end of that 90-year-old man.
That's all you need.
Oh.
Um, and roll for me.
28.
Um, so he is looking a lot better. He's walking more upright. He's clearly has more energy. Um, and he
Amazing what doing something you love will do for you.
that's right.
Instead of lying in bed all day.
It's the only way I can push through my headaches and do this game. I tell you,
Yeah.
I do love doing it. I do. And he, you know, he's concerned about you. He reminds you, part of this is to free your family from its curse. Hmm?
Yes.
And which for our viewers, that's a lie, but it's the story they're telling everyone is that um, these two got together because of troubles that Brise's family had with demons in the past, but we know that's not the case. It's because Verlag is trying to take over the world. But hey, tomato.
Slight stretch,
Yeah.
Not the worst exaggeration.
Um, so, he tells you, you've got to be more careful. I know your life is, inherently risky. Um, you know, um, what do you want to share with him, if anything?
Nothing really, because nothing's too
Mm-hmm.
relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, please continue.
I can't. How can I continue? This is Adabir. Adabir does that, so he wears his glasses.
His health has improved, but only in one eye.
his, his vision's been terrible all these years. He
Right.
finally discovered the reason.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really pertinent. So I won't tell him anything.
I was curious if you were going to run, if you were just going to query him about what sort of magic could have been on the bag.
Oh yeah, sure. So I guess one thing that determines, are there other people in the room right now? Like everyone's still here? Is it just Adabir?
It's, I mean, there'd be maids waiting on you.
Yeah.
They would be standing at the door waiting for you to summon or instruct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then not. Yeah. I don't want to go into a lot of crazy details about stuff. I'll just ask him. Yeah. About the bag, how it happened. And what might have been the reason for it.
So describe to him what happened, and then
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
ask if he can think of how that might have come about.
Right.
Um, he says there's any number of enchantments that could have caused the attack. Had you succeeded to open it, in all likelihood, the spell would not have gone off. The defense would not have gone off. That's likely, but it disappeared. There was no damage around, so the bag itself did not vaporize, intending to destroy its contents, which suggests then that it could be a bag of ownership. Very, very powerful magic. Simply put, if anyone but the owner tries to open it, it teleports back to the owner.
Interesting.
Um, Quite ingenious. Um, Paired with a bag of muffling, by all appearances.
And what if the owner is no longer alive? Will it still work?
It would have remained there.
Oh, interesting. Hmm.
Um, from how much do you want to tell him about the circumstances in which you found the the bag?
I'll go into a little more detail now that we're on this kind of conversation. Oh yeah, and by the way, it was in the carriage up on the trees, long abandoned. Go into all that detail.
There was rumors that the dragons were stirring again some 40 years ago. The last absolute sighting of a dragon was the sack of Alamar 150 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, and after that, I don't know what the number is, 11, 20 or so known dragons have laid quiet. But a target of wealth, massive claws crushing the carriage, and it dropped from a height. Um, Certainly sounds like a dragon. No fire damage, but then He didn't want to damage the contents, or she. But if they're building their hoards again, life is about to get very interesting in the mountains. Not just in the mountains. Supposedly there's one north of the Elven capital, and several in the old northern kingdom. Well, aren't you full of surprises? I guess our
Is there
next.
any? I asked him, is there anyone we should inform of this event, just to as good Samaritans might?
Oh, I'm sure that he just turns directly to a maid and says, I'm sure once people hear that there was a possible dragon attack 40 years ago, Lady Miagraw will know very soon.
Fair enough.
We don't really have proof. My magics are considerable, but finding a dragon's lair, their magics are also considerable. And they guard against precisely such a thing. Mostly from other dragons, as it turns out, but there's supposed to be one that occupies the ruin of the great city to the north in the northern kingdom. The first one that that the goblins attacked when they came. That now some great black dragon sits in the middle of that city, ruling a pile of gold and a city of dust.
A good time.
I could teleport you there. Let the herb take effect. Off you go.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah, he's just going on about dragons. Okay, I'm listening. That's pretty cool.
are
we frozen on YouTube?
yes, but apparently we're okay on. So it may just be a TV problem.
I got YouTube pull up. Yeah, it's running on YouTube, so it must have been temporary.
So
I look like such a dork on YouTube. Sorry.
You look like a dork?
I'm just staring at the camera, like, because I'm looking at my notes and I'm typing and I'm just like making no face.
Well, just you need to develop a note face, right? Jeez, not that. God, that's the most douchey you've ever looked. That was awful. You're such a nice guy. You can't transform my image of you like that. That's just awful.
Well, I'm trying to be like Brise. Brise is very douchey.
But much closer to home, he says. Her great green majesty, they call her, lies somewhere in the great fern marsh, and that is not myth or rumor. Mm-hmm. She was the last of the greats to be seen, and she destroyed half of Alamar in a day, and then flew off to the marsh. Obi-Wan, so bitter. Don't snap out of it, Obi-Wan. You do your thing. You do you.
You do you.
But he tells you her name, that dragon's name, is Venufrain, and I'll send you the. also known as Her Great Green Majesty. That's more of a joking term, not one she gave herself.
Yeah.
And who knows what love lies in the deserts or in the lands of the ancients? I don't know. But doesn't tell us much about this carriage. Doesn't tell us much about
No.
any of that. Could have sensed the what little treasure was there and swooped down upon it anywhere within 100 miles of here and carried it even further.
Right.
Um, in terms of our plans, um, things are proceeding. We've received word that several of our detachments going to the various fire mountains have made base and begin scouting.
Okay.
Um, and I hope in the next couple of days to hear word um, of their reports, and maybe soon we'll have news of where we should begin our investigation and
Excellent.
begin our experiments.
I'll throw in a thing about his list, right? Because obviously the maids are watching. You know, it's like, and in your list, I'm making some progress. I found
Excellent.
the location of a few items while I was out.
Oh, I should ask you because this is one of those points, right? Like, um, when we just rewind magically, right? Is your uh, was his physician a contact you wanted to make?
Um,
And if not, it's fine. And there's always other opportunities. It's not like you
maybe,
say
yeah.
no now.
No, yeah, I think fine. Pass that up.
Okay.
And I might. I mean, I'll probably be seeing him again anyway.
You
Remember
probably,
me? Now it's my legs this time.
exactly. It's Karandrin. It happens to everyone. Kevin's an asshole to us all.
Everybody's dying. Okay. No, but yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Um, so,
I would also say any is it possible there could have been word sent from Adabir as well? Because I know he's expected at the earliest to arrive on the 23rd. Could there have been messengers that have made it before him? I might just
oh,
it's like, have
you
you ever
mean
heard from
Aldrich?
not Adabir, sorry, Aldrif, yeah.
No, I caught up with you. I got you.
Yeah.
Um,
So I would just throw in Aldrif, have we heard from him? Currently must be on the road now.
you should arrive tomorrow.
Okay.
He's asking you if that's when he's expected.
Oh well, yes, that was the original date. So there's been any new.
Well, you know how that goes. Bad weather, washed out bridge, um, some bribes that don't go well.
I see. Okay. Well,
Um,
all right. I think the only other thing I'll ask him, you know, while I was on my journey, I did come across quite a number of interesting things. I was wondering if at some point I could ask maybe your time or one of your apprentices for some, possibly some questions of magical or creature natures.
did you bring the
I
vial?
did. I did. Um, yeah. And I mean, I'll. Oh well. Oh, I do. Yeah, I do have it because it's in my potion herb. I mean, I stripped right, so it's somewhere in the room. You know, it's like I do have.
Sure.
stuff to show, samples I'd collected. If you or any of the apprentices would be interesting. I have many questions to ask about.
He looks at you and he says, "My dear, you look cold. You, fetch tea. You, a blanket, heated. Well hot, I'm telling you, go." And the two maids leave.
Mm-hmm.
Close the doors. And he says, "Is there anything you need to tell me? We have a moment."
Well, I mean,
Yes, add a beer. Bow, 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 bow.
no. What's his tone? I mean, like,
Oh, just an opportunity.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, like, is there anything you need to tell me? Like, no, I'm not. I'm actually just curious about this. Yeah, I mean, I will grab. I'll get out of bed and grab or ask him to fetch the potions herb pouch and kind of rummage through it and pull out the vial with the. We'll describe it for all our viewers here. Where is it here? Vial with it's a vial, a light green fluid.
If you're following along in his notes,
a light green fluid in a vial that smells like wonderful, almost edible. And there's residue in the bottle, black residue that when I open the cork, it swims towards the top of the bottle, like it coalesces and wiggles toward the top. And then when I cork it, it falls down, it disintegrates again. And it seems to look like a lot like the trees that I found in the mine. I present that to him and describe the mines and the trees and that specifically, just those trees and kind of where I encountered them and their effects. I'm just very curious of what they are.
He's like, "I'll tell you, in my younger days, in fact, when I was first acquainted with Lady Miagal, there was a wizard I met named Agakyle."
There it is.
And Agrakyle, I guess his name is. I should.
Agakyle.
Is it Aga? Is it not Agra?
Aga.
Okay. Oh, you're right. And he was very interested in the interface of magic and living things. And he sees the look on your face.
Yeah.
You've heard of him.
I'll tell him that place was home to many undead and many specters, and I did encounter him in spectral form briefly.
Oh, he's gone then.
Yes. There was some battle that happened there, and he must have perished in the fighting.
He was intolerant to inferiors, but brilliant. What does this have to do with him?
He seemed to be researching these trees. Described the mine, how it had scaffolding and workbenches and tools set up, notebooks, all sorts of stuff. It seemed to be his kind of project that he was doing these trees, researching them.
The solution in here, as delicious as it smells, is quite a problem for those like you and I. It's very hard to create, thankfully, but it suppresses magic. Sort of like armor protects the body. You hope that the armor prevents the weapon from passing through. The liquid prevents magic from passing through it. That little substance floating in it apparently thrives on magic.
Mm.
And you can drain it almost through the fluid.
Mm.
Once you uncork it, it can get just enough to reassemble itself. Black trees made of this. The flashing of my Ethernet is distracting me. I'm like an idiot. You said there were dozens of these trees?
Many, yeah. And then I described the one also that mirrored itself, and the smaller one that repeated my voice back to me as well.
Makes you wonder what you could fashion out of these things.
Mm-hmm.
If you encased a magic user in such a substance, I don't know that they would survive.
Right, it would drain everything from them.
There's no question that Mia Grawl was involved in this.
Oh, because of its proximity, yeah.
There's no question, unless, of course, Aga Kyle was working on the sly for someone else.
Interrupt him. So Agakyle was affiliated with Mia Girl then.
Well,
Patron of kids.
If there was a battle there, that means there were soldiers there.
Right.
Those soldiers are paid by someone, and that someone is going to be aristocracy.
Right. So I just out of game then. I traveled. Yeah, I guess it only was like it was like half a day, so it's still pretty much in her domain.
Right, and like half a day on flatland, as you well know, is nothing compared to half a day on a mountain.
Yeah, it's even. Yeah.
I mean, you're a hop, skip, and a jump from it. I mean, you're just a few miles from it.
Yeah. I didn't think about
that.
Battleground right in your backyard.
Right. And
well, it might I say then that she might be interested in what became of her project if it was hers indeed.
Well, if you want her to know about it.
Well, I'm just saying it would be information she would probably desire. We need any.
Finally, my chance! You winked. Come here, you. Give Granddad a kiss.
Get out of here. Kiss the hand.
That's right. That's where I'll start.
Slap to the face.
So, roll for me.
16.
Brise, you're back in form. So he says, for now we, really should keep this between us. I would mention it to no one.
Okay.
It would be such a huge leverage against us, even our young apprentices. This is news. This is 100 mithril news. to Mia Girl. The question is, why did she not return to the project?
Right. If she, oh, good point. If she hadn't heard back from Agakyle in months.
Well, and that battle was decades ago.
Yeah. Right. That's what I say. So, like, she wouldn't have heard back from him, even if she didn't know the battle happened. Yeah. Now, I do say the place was cursed, but I guess dispelling a, curse wasn't worth research, right? Or
Or
navigating.
not possible.
Yeah.
It is possible that the pen came with evil magics and cursed the place. Denying her forever the chance. And now no researcher will go near it. This is very interesting. Even the pen didn't secretly try to establish something there, although there's no telling if they took whole trees.
Right. I mean, there were, right, the bases of towers that I noticed, but they were long gone. Was
There
that
were
temporary? Or,
there were barracks, you think?
oh, that too. Yeah. Yeah. The posts of like barracks. So probably temporary structures. Yeah. Not.
Right. So log cabin, I mean, semi-permanent. If you maintain the cabins, they're going to last years.
Yeah.
Especially, the colder months are not going to affect them; they'll preserve them. Um, so the pen, may have grabbed what they could and left, knowing they couldn't withstand another attack. Um, he doesn't know. Adabir doesn't know anything about the battle himself. He's like, he didn't even know that Agakal was a part of that battle. Um, so, um, it also calls into question the idea that this was a pen scouting party.
Right. Oh, if it really was, because that's what the rumor was. Yeah.
Right, that's the belief among the locals in terms of history. Is there's this old battle site, and it's the pen, which I should tell our viewers is the desert nation further to the east. Um, so then, um, what then is, so was it a hit and run? Was it
Yeah.
luck
Yeah.
or bad luck? Even right, you come across this force that you didn't even know was up on this bluff, and now it's like, holy crap, we have a battle. Um, Agakyle is caught in the, literally in the middle of it, right? Maybe just taking a walk in the woods away from his labors, thinking.
Yeah.
And then there's, horns sound, the alert. Um, and so, um, roll for me.
60.
So there was a war going on at the time, if the timing is correct. There was a war going on between the goblins and the desert nation. Apparently, they fight over resources on the border, and so what? How useful would it be if you had arrows made out of that tree?
Huh. Fascinating. Yeah. Or even just tipped like with that.
Right.
With it.
And now you're, to whatever degree the Pin Clan makes use of spellcasters on the battlefield, and who, that's certainly beyond your knowledge at present. Um, you know, that's a whole world of possibilities opens up there when you think about it. Well, here's spears tipped in it. Here's, certainly shields made out of it would be awful handy.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
and
Yeah.
so you give it to the unmagicked, either on the field where magic's going to be a problem, or I mean, all these are possibilities. The truth of it um, may not be immediately accessible to us, and certainly, I mean, I don't know what we would learn if um, it's going to be interesting to find that the Penn clans have a mountain or two where they deliberately planted this stuff to see if
Right.
it, I mean,
Right. That would be really cool. A whole like intrigue, like open up this whole story.
yeah. Um, so the maids return. I mean, obviously, there's more to discuss, but
Right.
um, you know, you feign your chill. They put the blanket on you. Um, um, um,
Okay. Okay. Um,
and if
well,
there's
that's all.
more, of course, you can decide to, you can just tell him, I need to talk to you later. But if you're kind of satisfied with the state of the conversation, you just let him go.
Yeah, I think I'm satisfied. There are some more like creatures and other things I was gonna ask about, but I can do that later. Or so.
Well, if you don't think, see, so long as it doesn't matter that the maid's here, then talk on.
Well, yeah. Okay. We can say so. It's already 9:30. I was thinking like maybe we could
No,
call it.
no, 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 that's fine, but we don't have to
We
end
can
the
keep talking about
story.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's say we'll end it me talking to him, and then if
Okay.
I think of something else, because there might be, yeah, some of these other like creatures and other things I encountered. Need to
Okay.
go through my notes again. They wrote some stuff down, but not all of it. So yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So I'll say
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I knew that his timing would work out in terms of him possibly being around Agricola, at least in the same region. But man, I rolled a really high number for him to
yeah, that's very cool. It's very
have
cool.
known the guy.
Here again, just like really organic, but like interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, if he were younger, he would have missed Agricola, right? If he's older, he would be dead because let's face it, Adabir is at the door. Um, I mean, so so let's call it there, shall we?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us on yet another fun episode. Uh, and if you want, oh right, this is your great suggestion, right? Doing this,
Oh yeah.
and then you can drop our stuff in there. So
There you go.
that's fun. So, and I will hide our little caption
Get
there.
that caption out of there.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So as always, like and subscribe, follow, hop to our donate page, and send us a little money if you like what we're doing. It always will help my poor sore head and encourage us to keep producing content. Max has his own channel on YouTube where he discusses video game original soundtracks and the uses of music within games. So do check that out. And as always, go check out the art by Elliot Dunovitz, who did our terrific character art for Brise. And go take a look at her there at ArtStation at pronounce it for me.
Tortilla.
Tortillua.
Like tortilla, but just put a U before the A.
But it's not pronounced that way remotely. So don't be fooled. So thanks again, everybody. We'll be back for episode 20. Um, and next week.
20. Big 24-hour stream, everyone.
That's right. And I have some ideas about that, and I'll talk to you about those in just a minute. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. But Max, say goodbye to these lovely people.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking around for another of treacherous but exciting and inspiring Karandrin role playing. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, finding out all this info about stuff, about things going on in the world. So, yeah.
All right, gang. Well, we will see you next week. I promise. Be good to each other, and episode 20 next week. Thanks, guys.